Tour alongside Teddy Atlas, and we welcome you to the Mexico City Plaza here in Mexico City for tonight's main event. 12 rounds in the welterweight division. This should be a good one tonight. Both fighters say they are primed, coming off a very intense and passionate training camp.
Tommy the Hitman Hearns. And his opponent across the ring with a record of 103 victories with 70 knockouts and 16 defeats. By way of Panama City, the handsome stone, Roberto.
Remember, guys, obey my commands at all times. Let's have a good, clean fight. Touch him up.
When you get a fight like this that everybody's been talking about, it's always so interesting to see these opening moments here in round number one.
Teddy, most ringside experts feel that this is very much going to be a tactical fight.
Yeah, both these guys throw punches like they're paying for them. And guess what? They're both cheapskates.
What advantages does the inside fighter have, if any, against an outside fighter?
Well, the one great advantage I think that the inside fighter probably has is from the mental standpoint. You know, he's ready to walk through swamps, mosquitoes, whatever he's got to walk through to get to that place.
He went down low, but didn't get a big piece of him. Reaching the halfway mark of this round. Good way to protect the midsection. Well placed, straight right hand. Right to the body.
Double up your punches.
Takes one to give one. He comes back with a right hand.
Focus on the inside.
Last 10 seconds. And we come to the end of round number one. Duran's defense is going to need to shine when he gets back out there. I mean, just look at the close-up of that cut we're seeing.
Yeah, he's got to use his legs. You're right, Joe. He's got to get out there and buy some time for those medicines to work.
Here we go. Round two is underway.
Tommy Hearns is
Nailed by a hook. Oh, he just misses with that headshot.
Just like that.
Pulls the trigger right away with the left hand after getting tagged himself. Able to get away from that headshot with the block. Teddy, let's talk about what this wiry, tall, and athletic frame of Tommy Hearns provides for him in the ring, because we've seen him use leverage to his advantage with his power punches.
Well, guys that look like a tall drink of water, and that's what he looks like to me. You know, a lot of people think they're not intimidating. They get more worried about a guy from Venice Beach that, you know, has all those muscles and everything. But those wiry guys, those are the guys that I have found that worry me, because they get leverage and they can really bang.
A shooting right hand by Tommy Hearns.
Out of the way from the bunches. Move your head.
Roberto Duran's on the bad end of a very impressive hook up top.
His punches are right now lacking that snap. I mean, we're early in this fight, but you can see that he's worn down just from his work rate.
Yeah, you know what he's seeing? He's seeing a guy with a cement chin, an iron chin. And I'm wondering if he's not starting to get a little bit discouraged.
And that's the end of round 2.
Teddy, let's discuss what's going on right here. His eye is completely swollen shut. What is the concern with the referee and the ringside physician?
Well, right now they're worried about the welfare. You know, not just about tonight, but the future of this fight and what damage he will take now because he can't see correctly. It's their job to protect the fighter.
Tried to land that upstairs and was off the mark. Tommy Hearns has got to deal with a cut cheek. He has his target. He lands a straight right. Hearns' defense is paying off now. See, the defense pays off as he gets rid of that downstairs. Coming to the halfway point of this third round. Tommy Hearns with a huge left hand. What a damaging blow. Nice hook upstairs.
Stay away from the inside.
A stabbing right hand comes in by Tommy Hearns. Last 10 seconds of round number 3. Good defense upstairs to stay away from that offensive assault. And round 3 comes to an end.
Center of the ring, okay? I need the box. Get away from this. Boom.
So as we start round 4, we reflect on the first 3, looking at Teddy's scorecard. Hearns has earned good marks, taking all 3 rounds.
Yeah, not eventful some of the rounds. Not a lot to separate the two guys, but I think that his jab has carried the day.
His eyes set on the uppercut, but was unable to land it. Good block by Roberto Duran.
Many great superstar athletes are associated with one single city, but Tommy Hearns, Tommy Hearns is Detroit Motor City through and through, isn't he?
Yeah, he is Detroit Motor City, and he runs you over like something with a motor in it. And the way he does it is from that really thin frame, usually from the outside, and he just explodes on you.
Hearns is keeping his guard up very, very well. Teddy, does it help to have the speed that he has?
Sure. Anytime you have speed and you can put it into the equation where whatever you're doing, it has to be technically right, but now you put speed, you're doing it even better. You're doing it at a higher level.
So punch after punch, he keeps taking punishment. Starting to wonder here, Teddy, how much more will he be able to take?
You want it to be the inclination of a fighter, in this case a warrior, to go on, but sometimes enough is enough, and you just have to take your losses and come back to fight another day. I believe we've gotten to that point.
Tommy Hearns' effectiveness really damaged his opponent in that last round.
Hacia adentro, then throw. Throw with everything when you get inside.
You need to move your head more, okay? Side to side. Into the side and boom.
Round number 5 has arrived. He tried to nab him up top, but was unable to connect.
Muévete la cabeza.
Good, strong uppercut. He comes right back with it after taking one.
Get out of the way from those punches. Move your head.
Well, his opponent is opening up and coming forward, so I would think there's some opportunities that exist.
Yeah, I think some counter-punching opportunities. Opportunities not on the front end, but on the back end.
That is a big right hand after eating one himself.
That's what you want to be.
Still plenty of time to work here in round number 5. Minute and a half to go.
Fix yourself.
Accuracy an issue there. Didn't land that straight right hand.
He's showing what a skilled fighter he is with this counterpunching.
Hey, keep your feet moving. Move your head.
Final 10 seconds of this 5th round. And that's the end of round 5. 60 seconds. That's all they get. Just 60 seconds to deal with the fact that their fighter has an eye that's completely shut.
That's all they need. I mean, that's their job. Now they got to show that they can perform under those conditions.
Nice strike after catching one by Roberto Duran. Frustrating his opponent with great defense. Duran's finding out right now that this counter-punching style is not getting the results he needs in these middle rounds. What is the answer?
Well, when a guy's not coming in and walking in, you can't counterpunch. I mean, he's not giving you the kind of turf that you need. Now you have to find a way to create your offense, to lead a little bit. That starts with the jab, getting off first.
That's great stuff. He fires one right back after taking one. Gotta love the work by Roberto Duran.
That's okay. Be
Reaching the halfway point of round number 6. Huge uppercut from Duran. Well, something's got to stick. He sends the combination to the body.
Stay on the inside.
Roberto Duran's almost looking foolish that time he missed so badly.
Flush right hand to the head. Good snapping jab.
That's what you need to get inside. Hey, Joe, if you're going to rob a bank, you need a smoke screen so the guards don't see you coming. You want to get inside? Use the jab.
Well, he ties up there. Final 10 seconds. And round 6 comes to an end.
Well, we've seen this before, a fighter with a bad cut, and sometimes a fighter that now has a much greater sense of urgency.
Yeah, right now, if he was gambling, if he was in a casino, he's rolling the dice. He's hoping to come up with 7.
Hearns is out at longer range. He's staying away from some danger spots defensively.
Well, he knows he has an opponent who has to be set to punch and who's very dangerous in those spots. So he's doing what he should be doing, keeping him off balance, giving him angles, fighting a smart fight.
Got this one.
Here's one for you now, he says. Right back with the left hand.
Keep that head moving.
Good flush shot upstairs.
Left and right. Left and right.
Tommy Hearns is doing a nice job being comfortable on the outside. At the halfway point of round 7. A little head hunting with the right. A little give and take, and here comes the left hand. Unable to score with the hook. Not much action as he just ties up. Oh, that's good stuff. Firing right back with one of his own. Good work by Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran's got to know that things can't continue like this. These middle rounds have not been what he's wanted them to be. He thought he was going to do a heck of a job on the inside, but he's not.
Hey, you know, you mentioned something very, very interesting. You said he's got to know. Yeah, he knows that he's got to be on the inside, but maybe he doesn't want to be. You know, it takes discipline. You know, it takes risk. It takes the ability to accept that risk to be inside closer to your guy because more stuff's going to come back. Maybe he's taking it the safe way, the easy way, even though that means he's going to lose. He doesn't have enough discipline to win.
Eighth round now underway, and Teddy, your scorecard hasn't changed. Tommy Hearns is in complete control of this fight. He looks unstoppable. I don't see this changing at all.
Well, the only way it changes is if he gets a little full of himself, you know, if he starts taking things for granted. But I just don't think it's in his makeup.
Finish with the hook. Right the body. Back to the body.
He clinches when he gets to the inside.
Keep focus.
Wow, a big flush blow, the left hand by Roberto Duran.
1, 2. 1, 2. Keep it up.
Roberto Duran's putting forth that hard work he did in training camp there, landing a crisp combination. 90 seconds to go, halfway through round 8. Roberto Duran's been able to let loose. He's throwing punches. He's just not landing enough of them.
Well, he's throwing them from a little too far away. He's not getting into that punching chamber. He's starting to launch him just a little too soon, and his opponent is worn.
Keep that head moving. Uppercut. Circle him. Move. That's it.
Good two-punch combo by Tommy Hearns. At this point, I'd start to question what happened in training camp. Roberto Duran's got nothing left in the tank.
No, I would question that too. You know, the first thing that comes to my mind is that they were expecting a knockout, so they trained for a short fight. And guess what? They're sorry.
Keep your hands up.
That was yet another round where he just looked like the fresher, better conditioned fighter. And here in these later stages of this fight, that's where you get the payoff.
Well, the payoff is what we heard. We heard about coming into this fight that in training camp they were doing 5-minute rounds. We heard that, Joe. Not 3-minute, 5-minute rounds. He's getting the benefit right now of that.
And just grabbing onto his opponent.
Stay away from those. Punch, punch.
To the head he goes with a left hand. Roberto Duran's showing a little bit of a defensive shell, but Teddy, I'm seeing punches still getting through and splitting that guard.
Yeah, well, that's the problem, Joe, when you put those earmuffs on, but you don't move your head. Some of them are going to get through, and just as importantly, you handcuff yourself, so your opponent is going to stay in there a little bit longer, knowing that nothing's coming back right away.
Not able to connect with the uppercut. 90 seconds into the 9th round. What a great job. He gave one right back in return. Nice work by Roberto Duran. Boy, sharp two-punch combination by Roberto Duran.
Don't let him get to you, kids. Double up on your punches.
Well, that was his intention, and that's what he's doing. Not engaging in the fight, but clinching. Good, solid left hand from Tommy Hearns.
Keep working the jab. Walking to his punches.
Good exchange. He fires back. Roberto Duran. His opponent is having a field day, Teddy. That left hand lands again.
Well, he keeps moving the wrong direction. He needs to move away from that punch.
And now they start round number 10. Hearns has got a little hop in his step as he's ready to start this round. Oh, and he returns fire with a left hand. Return to sender. He gives him back one of his own.
Get after him.
Very nice work from both men. They each got a shot in. Must be the punch of the day. Both guys bringing home uppercuts. And now he's acting like a fighter. Coming back with the right hand after getting scored upon. And we've reached the halfway point of round 10. He engages in the clinch. Nothing there on the punch by Roberto Duran.
Yeah, good work.
Step back, then the counter punch by Tommy Hearns.
Very similar to what you see Floyd Mayweather do. You know, make a miss, pull that shoulder back, and then come right back with the counter.
Tommy Hearns has been able to avoid having any of his opponent's headshots landing flush.
And what his opponent has to do, Joe, is make an adjustment. What we used to tell the fighters, when a guy's elusive like this fighter is right now, you have to shorten your punches up. Shorten them up a little bit, have less space to travel. They have a better chance of getting to that elusive target.
That is exactly what the corner wanted to see. A good combination punch by Roberto Duran. And round 10 comes to an end.
You're holding yourself back. Don't let this man outwork you, okay? Look, I want both hands to work. Both hands. Dig those shots.
He's in prime position to win this fight now, Teddy. I really don't see any other way it could go. Here we are in the 11th round, and for a good string of rounds now, it's been all one-sided.
Yeah, it's been one-sided. Something you just touched on. You don't see any other way it could go. And I think that he's convinced his opponent of seeing it that way, that he can't see any other way for it to go.
Solid hook. Fires right back at him.
Tommy Hearns has had success so far just based on his pure hand and foot speed. But there is some concern.
Yeah, you know, you got a guy with a real fast car. He needs a racetrack. He needs the right place to use that speed to kind of run with it a little bit. Right now, his opponent needs to change that landscape. Don't give him that racetrack. Step out of range a little bit and leave him there. Let him shadow box, but don't stay in a position where he can be effective.
Roberto Duran's met by a left hand.
On the inside.
And just like that, he's able to turn things around. Remember, he was stunned. Now he's in control. Big shot. He is not meant for life on the outside there, and he just paid the price. He goes down.
Because he didn't make his mind up. If you're not going to work out in front, get to a distance where you're safe. He stood there at a bad distance. No man's land.
Duran's able to get up. Teddy, I question, though, if he'll be able to go on. What does he have to do?
Well, he's got to know what to do, but what not to do. Don't use your legs. Don't try to move because that's the inclination. Get on your bicycle when you've been hurt. No, the bicycle's not there. You got flat tires. What you got to do is grab on the inside, clear your head.
Round 11 comes to an end.
You can have the best game plan in the world, but when your eye shuts closed like that, everything changes.
But one thing doesn't change, Joe, and that's the mentality of a warrior. You find a way. You do not give in. You find a way. You concentrate harder, and you see with that one eye what you need to see.
If there was a base solid, he was able to get up and continue on last time. Now he goes down again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Roberto Duran's back up, but is he back in the fight?
We're going to find out in a second whether or not he moves his head. Now, if he just stands there straight and you're the trainer, you better get up on those steps and stop it. He's not right.
A crushing two-punch combo. There it is! Well, he's been there before, and now he's there again. He got floored.
He can't afford to keep going on that floor. You have to wonder when the referee's going to step in now and stop this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And it's over. Look at this. Roberto Duran's night has ended early here. Unable to go the distance, he couldn't rise up and beat the count.
Tommy the Hitman Hearns.
Tommy Hearns is your winner by knockout. Now, I think he was headed towards a decision win anyways, but what a good way to just put a stamp on his evening.
Yeah, bring down the curtain and make sure that more people are going to be talking about you when they leave the arena tonight.
For Teddy Atlas, I'm Joe Tessitore. That does it ringside. We'll see you soon.